was almost midnight in a suburban Midwestern home. The man who had broken in and entered was an old-timer, a skilled professional in the methods of burglary. His name was Frank Shelby. His age, 51. Medium height, weight 220 pounds. And he had one other distinguishing characteristic: heart disease. In burglarizing homes, thieves frequently come upon the hiding places of United States savings bonds, which they steal and negotiate on forged endorsements. For this reason, you should keep your savings bonds in a safe place, preferably in your own bank. And now, in my role as chief of the United States Secret Service, I'd like to tell you about a man who stole a quantity of bonds which were not properly safeguarded, and who made the mistake of adding forgery to his other crimes and lived to regret it. This is Treasury File 8237, United States Secret Service. The case of the broken bond.
Not so fast. What are you trying to do? Get us picked up by a cop? Ain't it bad enough as it is? $220 in a house like that. I'll bet you didn't even half search the place. And those bonds. Couldn't you pick up any silverware or jewelry instead of a lot of bonds? Well, ain't you going to say nothing?
I'm tired, Wilma. Tired. I don't feel so good.
How many years have I been hearing that? What's the matter? Indigestion again?
I don't know. I got that pain again. Same one I always get. Right across here.
Pain. You men are all alike. Least little pain you get, and right away you think it's something serious. You hear me complaining when I get a pain?
It ain't just a pain, Wilma. I'm a sick man. Sick. I go on like this, one of these days I'll just drop off.
Sure. You've been saying that for years. What do you want me to do? Be a nurse for you? You're sick, go to a doctor.
Is that all you care about it? Is that all it means to you? Go to a doctor.
Oh, for crying out loud. You ain't dying. You'll live to be 100.
Sure, but 11 years ago you'd have said that as if you wanted me to.
Yeah, I got a list of what was stolen in the robbery on Pacific Street. There wasn't too much cash, only $220 worth. The main thing he got away with was a whole slew of United States savings bonds, the Series E kind. $9,250 worth. They were made out in the name of a man who lives here, Talbot. Raymond E. Talbot. No, the burglar got away clean.
Job you pulled tonight. A measly $220 and a handful of savings bonds that ain't worth a nickel.
Why ain't they? Why can't we cash them in?
Because you ain't Raymond E. Talbot. You ain't the guy they're made out to.
So who'll know the difference?
A bank, stupid, a bank. You can't cash them unless you can prove who you are.
Why can't I be Raymond E. Talbot? A couple of 100 miles from here. Who's gonna know the difference?
Maybe we could get away with it at that.
Why not? We take a place somewhere in a small town and call ourselves Mr. and Mrs. Talbot. Then when everybody knows who we are, we cash in on the bonds. It would work, wouldn't it?
I don't know. It's worth making a try. With you. You're supposed to be seeing people here, letting them know your name is Talbot.
I think I can be all right here. Maybe get back to myself again.
What do you think this is, a vacation? You know what we're here for.
Sure, I know. That's gonna work, too. Here, take a look at this. $500.
500.
Sure, I cashed some of the bonds.
You what?
Wilma, it worked. That druggist where I buy my medicine, he has a brother who works in a bank up in Clinton, the next town from here. I went up to see him, and it worked like a charm. All I did was sign my name as Talbot. He thought I was him.
Are you crazy or something?
What do you mean? It went off all right?
All right, huh? Is this what we figured? All these weeks of living here, getting ourselves set with this new name. You just threw it all away, ruined everything.
I got the money, didn't I?
But how much? $500. Didn't I tell you we had to cash them all at one time and then move out of here as fast as we can?
Well, I thought...
Of all the stupid tricks. Don't you know all those bonds are registered? Do you want the government to know you cashed them? They'll go to that bank in Clinton and they'll come right back here to us. Now we gotta start running again.
We have to leave?
Unless you want the cops to catch up with us. This is just what they wanted, to have a few of those bonds come in so they could get in our trail. Oh, you did just great.
But I felt good here. I wanted to stay. That's why I did it, to get some money for us so we could stay.
Come on, get a move on. We gotta get our stuff packed and get out of here.
Wilma, I can't start running again. I'll never make it.
$500 worth, Mitchell. And all of them cashed at a bank in Clinton by a man living at a tourist home in Millhaven.
Signatures are forged, of course.
Yes. And all of these bonds were on the list of those stolen about 2 months ago in that burglary in Cleveland. The signatures don't even come close to that of the genuine owner, a Mr. Talbot.
Any more information as to the forger's identity or where he might be heading?
No. No, the man who cashed these bonds and his wife posed as Mr. and Mrs. Talbot for about 3 weeks. Then he turned in some of the bonds and skipped town.
I see.
I want you to get up there as quickly as you can, Mitchell. There are still several $1,000s worth of these bonds to be accounted for, and if you can find out who this forger is, you'll be able to prevent his cashing them.
Do you think he'll have the nerve to try it again in the same area?
Who knows? It all depends on how badly he needs the money.
What about his mail, Mr. Summers? Do you remember any of the postmarks by any chance?
Well, I don't make it a habit of looking at letters of folks living here, but I know they did get lots of local mail. Letters from here in Millhaven.
Probably wrote to themselves to establish identification.
I still can't believe it. Sick man like him.
What about their car? Anything you can tell me about it? Color, license number, anything?
Well, I can't, but Jed Lowell can. He's down the street.
Jed Lowell.
He has the garage. Talbot, or whatever his name is, had trouble with his car. Had a lot of fixing done to it. Jed could tell you all about it.
Right, Mr. Summers. Thanks very much. Keep working on those press drives, and I'm going down the street to the garage.
Right, Mitch.
Mr. Mitchell,
Yes, sir.
you know something? I don't think you'll have much trouble catching up with that man if he's as sick as I think he is.
Why not?
How far can a sick man run?
Well, what do you think you're doing? Come on, get up off that bed and help me pack. We're leaving right after breakfast.
What for? How long are we going to keep this up? You said when we got to Omaha I could take a rest.
You had a good rest last night. Snored so loud I couldn't sleep a wink.
I can't help it if I snored. I was all shot. Felt like I had everything drained out of me.
Well, stop feeling so sorry for yourself and go get your pajamas in the closet so I can pack them away.
Look, Wilma, I ain't going in that car again today. I'm staying right here. If you don't like it, you can go on without me.
You really mean that, don't you?
Sure, I mean it. I ain't gonna keep running till I pass out somewhere. Besides, there's no point in going any further.
No? Did you see that Cleveland paper I picked up yesterday? We're right on the front page again on account of those bonds you cashed.
That's Cleveland. This is Omaha.
You think it makes any difference to those Treasury guys?
Treasury, my eye. They can't be everywhere. Besides, I got an idea how we can cash some more of those bonds.
Yeah? How?
Change the name on them. Use another signature. Take ink eradicator and wipe the name right off. Then I can sign any name to them. Any name we can get identification on.
It won't work.
How do you know it won't work? Are you such a mastermind on everything? I say it will. And I'm going to stay here and try it.
Yeah?
Why not? As long as I don't sign Talbot's name to anything, I'm in the clear. What the heck? I was supposed to be a man named Talbot, so how can they have anything on me? They don't even know my name.
Frank Shelby, eh? So that's who he is.
That's right, Chief. We were able to pick up enough identifiable prints in that room in Millhaven to run them through the criminal files. This is what we turned up.
Well, this record fits our description. Frank Shelby, age 51, height 5'9", weight 220, 3 arrests for burglary, 2 convictions. Any idea which way he's traveling?
I asked around Millhaven, sir, and he was last seen going west out of the town on US 40. Our best chance is that car he's driving.
Any luck in picking up the license number?
Yes, sir. We even know the body style and color. His garage man gave us everything we needed. We've notified state and local police in the Midwest to watch for it. They'll be certain to pick it up.
With that much on the car, I think they will, yes. Excuse me. Yes. Oh, hello, Nelson. What's that? I see. When was this? Yes, he's right here. Very well, I'll get back to you. You can forget about the lead on that car, Mitchell.
Why? What's happened?
The Nebraska State Police have just notified our district office. Shelby's car was found abandoned last night about 20 miles out of town. Now we've got to start all over again.
How goes it?
Well, you're feeling pretty good for a change, ain't you?
Why not? Week's rest has done me a lot of good. Besides, I got some good news. I cashed in $600 worth of bonds.
And you got away with it?
I'm here, ain't I? I tell you, that ink eradicator worked like a charm. I went to a couple of places on the outskirts of town, and they didn't give me any argument at all. I tell you, you married a pretty smart guy, Wilma.
What about the registration? In 2 or 3 days, those bonds will be back in Washington, and they'll be coming for us again.
In 2 or 3 days, we'll be in Denver. We got 2 days to go on a cashing spree and really wind up with some dough. And the harder they look for us, the more they...
What's the matter?
My pills. No. I remember now. I left them in the car.
Yes, we checked the car for fingerprints, Mitchell. There's no doubt about it. It's the one you were looking for. Shelby's prints are all over it.
And you found it on the east side of town, all the way over near Council Bluffs.
That's right. But it might have been standing there a couple of days before we located it. It was on a very deserted road.
Any maps in the car?
Just a couple of state maps from gas stations. Nothing from around here, though.
Any routes marked on them?
No, no marks on them at all. There's one thing that might be of interest to you, though. We found this in the glove compartment.
Medicine?
Yes. We had it analyzed. Some sort of heart pills. Must have been prescribed by a doctor. The label's worn off. Can't make out where it was purchased. Does that give you any ideas?
Might at that. Heart pills, huh?
All right, sir. I guess you can get up now.
Well, what does it say? Come on, tell me the truth.
Well, I'll need some time to study the graph. Carefully, of course. But I can tell you this much. You've got to go home and go right to bed. For 3 weeks at least.
Bed?
Frankly, I think you'd be much better off in the hospital, where we could keep you under observation.
Forget it, will you, Doc? I can't go to no hospital.
Why not? I can tell you right now, you're a very sick man. If you don't rest every chance you get, you're not going to be around very much longer. And I'm serious about that. You've got to go to bed for 3 weeks at least.
Okay. Okay, I heard you. Anything else you got to tell me? Any medicine you got to give me so I won't have so much pain?
Yes, I'll make out a prescription for you before you go. But you've got to promise me that you're going to take care of yourself.
Sure, Doc. I promise.
"3 weeks. Is that what he said? 3 weeks in bed? You must think you're a millionaire.
He thinks I'm a pretty sick man.
Well, sick or not, we got to get out of here. Tomorrow, the latest, or those bonds will bounce right back in our faces.
Yeah, I know.
And we got to get more cash, too, so we'll have enough money to get to Denver.
Be alone for a second, will you? I just want to forget everything for a while. Doc says I got to relax. Take it easy.
Sure, only he don't know you wanted by the Treasury Department and the police in half a dozen states.
Can't you let me forget that for a second, Wilma?
Sure, I can let you forget. I can let you get caught, too.
Wilma, will you leave me alone?
Okay, I'll leave you alone. I'll leave you right there in that chair and make it easy for the cops. Only I ain't staying.
You wouldn't leave me now, would you?
This is as good a time as any, ain't it? You know the way things are with us. You know we're only beating a dead horse trying to stay together anymore. This has been coming on for years. Well, ain't it?
Even so, I know how you feel about me. I don't blame you. I ain't got any love for you either. But we're married, Wilma. We've been married for 11 years.
So what can I do about it? Go to jail with you? What good'll that do? This way I got a chance of ducking the rap.
Is that all you're thinking about?
But what are you thinking about? Yourself, just the way I am. You want me to be big-hearted and stick with you. Well, if you had anything in you, you'd tell me to go. You'd know that was best for me, and you'd want what was best for me.
You can go, Wilma.
I wouldn't have to go if you'd go out and cash a few more of those bonds. Then we could stay together till we get to Denver. Then it wouldn't hurt nothing if you wanted to go to bed for a while. We need that dough, Frank.
I can't help it. I couldn't move another step today.
Tomorrow, then. What about tomorrow? There'd still be time. Maybe you'll feel better by tomorrow. All you'd have to do is go to 3 or 4 places. What about it, Frank? Can you do it?
I'll see. I'll see how I feel tomorrow.
In an effort to get a lead on Frank Shelby's whereabouts, Agent Mitchell, in cooperation with the state and local police, began checking hospitals, pharmacies, and individual doctors in the Omaha area with regard to new heart patients who might answer to Shelby's description. And by noon the next day, he was fortunate enough to locate the doctor whom Shelby had gone to on the previous day.
Yes, Mr. Mitchell, that's the man. He didn't say his name was Shelby, though. He said his name was Mason.
He gave you his address?
Yes, but that's probably false, too.
Did you give him any medication, prescribe anything for him?
Yes, I gave him a prescription and told him where he could get it filled. But, of course, I have no way of knowing whether he went to that drugstore or any at all.
Well, I'd appreciate it if I could have a copy of that prescription. I'd like to check with that drugstore you recommended.
Certainly.
3 or 4 banks. That's all you have to go to, and you can take a cab to each one.
I'll try, Wilma. I'll do the best I can.
All right, then. Hurry. If you get back here in time, we can make the 4 o'clock train.
Wait a minute. My medicine. We never had a prescription filled. The one the doctor gave me.
Don't waste time on that. I'll see about the prescription. The medicine will be here when you get back.
But maybe I ought to have it before I go.
Frank, it's getting late. You've got to go.
Okay. I'll be back as soon as I can.
No, sir. There was no request for any such prescription here. Perhaps it was taken to another pharmacy.
Yes, that's entirely possible. Anyway, I'm going to leave you my card and a number where I can be reached. I certainly would appreciate it if you'd call me there in the event that somebody does ask for this prescription.
Indeed I will, Mr. Mitchell. I'll cooperate in any way I can.
Thank you.
To get it? To get the money?
Is that all you care about? The money? I ain't hardly in the door. The first thing you ask about is the money. Me you don't care about. I could go out there and kill myself for that dough. But if I brought it back, you'd be satisfied.
Well, you're here, ain't you? I knew nothing happened to you.
That's where you're wrong. Something did happen.
What?
Where's my medicine?
What happened, Frank?
My medicine, didn't you get it?
They're delivering it. They said they couldn't make it up right away, so I didn't wait for it.
What else did you have to do? Couldn't you spare a few minutes waiting there so I could have it when I got back?
Sure, I could do a lot of things, but I had something more important on my mind. Now, are you going to tell me what happened? Where's that dough?
I ain't got it.
What do you mean you ain't got it? Frank, you're kidding.
Do I look like I'm kidding? They were wise to me at the bank. They asked me a million questions. I almost got caught.
I knew it. I knew something like this would happen. Now we can't even get to Denver.
Denver? I almost didn't get out of that bank. I had to run so hard, I felt like it was tearing up everything inside me.
Oh, stop moaning. If they spotted you in that bank, we can't wait here another minute.
That's why I came back. To pick up my medicine. To tell you we're in the spot.
Okay. Get up, will you? Take the bags outside. I'll get a cab.
I can't make it, Wilma. I can't move another step.
Get those bags.
I can't. I gotta get some rest. Oh, give me a break, will you, Wilma? Wait for me just 10 minutes.
Take your hands off me.
10 minutes. You get the cab.
I said take your hands off. Say a word.
Open up, Mr. Shelby. United States Secret Service.
I'm in here, all right. Open the door.
You fool! You crazy, half-witted fool!
All right, I think you'd better come along with us.
What difference does it make? I'm gonna die anyway. What difference does it make where?
What about me? Don't you care about what happens to me?
I wouldn't care if you dropped dead.
Curiously enough, Frank Shelby lived through the ordeal and pleaded guilty to a federal forgery charge and a state burglary charge. He was convicted and sentenced to a federal penitentiary where he is still serving his term. His wife, Wilma, was also convicted as an accessory in the forgery, and she too is now serving time in a federal penitentiary. All of the remaining bonds which had been stolen from Raymond Talbot were recovered and returned to their owner.